So instead, if you create a division between the two, right, with an area of value that has margin that in some cases are more visible, in some cases are less visible, I think it's much more accurate in a sense, paradoxically, having a line that is not too defined. And also, it's easy to incorporate the or create the transition, right, between light mesh and shadow mesh, instead of having to go back and soften up the sharp line that you blocked at the beginning. I think I should show you what I'm talking about, because maybe not everybody has the Barg method, the book, or know what the Barg method is about, right? But this is a book that came out a few years ago, and there are many publications that collect the plate of the Barg method. This is the one that I think is sufficient to have, because buying the whole collection of reproduction of the Barg method plates is very expensive, $300-400. This is probably $70, right? So these are the plate that were given to the student at the beginning of the 4 or 5 years of study of the academy, and they would start copying these plates. They would start copying, drawing from prints, from serigraphic prints. You can see how they start with what we call now the envelope, right? Main vertical, and then that is the line of the shadow mask, right? So now you have here just 3 values to make it easy for the student, right? Light, medium, dark. And this is the line of the shadow mask. You do this until you have a good understanding of how to proceed, right? And the first plates have a limited number of values, and the shadow mask, the light mask are only very, very clearly defined. But as you proceed, you're going to see that maybe these are still the initial place, right? But as you proceed, the form becomes much more difficult. I don't really see more here the division of the light mesh and shadow mesh. See that? These are just already the muscles, right? And this is the line for the muscle, not for the light mesh and shadow mesh. As here we still see the shadow mesh and light mesh. But what I'm saying, and this makes my point, right? See how soft the transition between the shadow mesh and the light mesh is. See how soft it is. You cannot replicate that. I mean, so therefore, this is quite vague, even if it's so precise, that I don't really need to draw this then. I can just simply look at my subject and block in the value without following an outline that I previously blocked in, but just looking at my subject. Okay, you're gonna stop about here. I'm gonna, stop, make the margin softer here, sharper there, etc. And then eventually you see how you get into the more and more complex work, such as this one, right? You see how many lines of area of value, etc. you have here. You could do, I know in certain atelier, they still do all the outline of the light mesh and shadow mesh. I think this at this point would be unnecessary. It's unnecessary. So I'm convinced that the definition or the description or marking down the line of division between light mesh and shadow mesh is more for the didactic purposes, for the students at the beginning of the course. Do I have any proof of that? No. But it just has, I think that's the way it is, because it would be much more efficient to do these lines of division between light mesh and shadow mesh with a softer line rather than with an outline, because it's really not necessary, at least in my opinion. So this being said, you can do the line, you can do the outline to divide the two, and then block in light mesh and shadow mesh, following the outline like this, right? Okay, this is darker. This is darker now, right? And you can see we don't have many values here, right? About three, right? About three values, right? 1, 2, 3, more or less, right? But still, we start having a sense of turning of the form. At this point, what we could do as a way of remember or introducing a value, we can lift the value that the highlights, the value of the